Holy cow, chat.
Oh, I thought you heard that thunder. I was gonna say,
No. Is it thundering where you
no, I was just farting.
at?
I was trying to get it out before you
I
started.
thought, no, because I was about to say it's sunny over here. What? Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I was trying to let that go before you
Nah,
got started.
I didn't hear a thing, man. Nobody
Yeah,
heard
good.
anything. Oh my God.
Because people
Oh
are just
shit.
like
What's
people
up,
are
Winnie?
like latchkey children, bro. Like when somebody like so like people are just we got too many hive minds out here,
Mob
bro.
mentality, man. Mob mob mentality, chat. How you guys doing today? Yo, what's up, Weenie? Good to see you on this beautiful
Mm.
Sunday.
Sunday. I just screamed because I was it was still thundering
Oh
over here.
man.
If you catch my drift,
Oh man. Hey, don't let me yuck your yum, bro.
You would think your boy drunk some milk this morning.
I'm
Out of
not-
control, bro.
I ain't doing this with you, man.
Out of control. Get it together, bro.
You do your best bot to get caught up in the hive mentality. No, you don't. You don't want to get caught in the hive mentality, man. Nobody wants that. It's not good for anybody. We were just talking about music in general. People's inability to be wrong, and when they are, they result to
On
insults and name calling.
and let me tell you something. So let me get it off my chest.
Go ahead, man.
We coming in hot. Fuck it. Why not?
Cold open.
Bro,
Let's go.
the overreactions gotta stop. Got to stop.
You mean like
bro.
in general?
The overreactions? For example, when Kendrick dropped this album, which I didn't even know it was an album. I thought it was a song when it first dropped.
Yeah.
I thought he just dropped a song. Didn't know it was
He
a
did
whole album.
he did the Beyonce. Yeah.
The fake reactions gotta stop. Let's call this bullshit what it is, bro. Cut it out. The theatricals, and this is not saying nothing disparaging about Kendrick Lamar. I made it like halfway through the album. I don't want to judge it yet, but the song he has with SZA is kind of my favorite song. I fuck with the R&B like type shit.
I haven't heard
So
that one yet. I
I
heard good things
don't.
about it.
I don't even care about rap anymore. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Don't care. As I get older, bro, I need calmer music in my life. I don't want to hear drill ruin rap. I throw that out there too. Fight me, whatever.
Ooh, I don't think that's a hot take, honestly. And you know what's funny is
Drill
that
really ruin rap. I
we
don't
saw
care.
it turn when we were in college, I think.
No,
Honestly.
see, my thing is, it was fine when Chicago was doing it. Well, it probably wasn't fine. Like, you shouldn't be rapping about killing people because they were really killing
The
people.
way that they were rapping about killing people was crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
It was something kind of new, and I was like, okay, because, hey, what's that? That's that shit I don't like. Hey, that shit drove me
Oh,
crazy.
don't like, yeah.
Music influence. Hey, I don't care what nobody say. Music influences you because I wanted to beat the fuck out of people every time I heard that song.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, man.
When drill left Chicago and all these other places started trying to do it, first of all, I'll say it with my chest, it was trash. Fight me, I don't care. You won't win. But it was bad. What was it? It was like Minnesota trap and Mississippi trap. New York, hey, listen up, New York. All that shit was trash outside.
You know,
of Pop Smoke.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not really a huge fan of the music that they kind of produce up there now, because it's all like these weird 808s, you know, all that
No,
shit.
that's that
and-
because that's that stupid drill sound. Like I know
Yeah.
exactly what
you know what I mean,
about.
right? Yeah, like
It's that weird little sound effects that they be using. Like, oh, no, I'll say this.
I feel like I'm in a tunnel listening to music echo off
Pop
the walls.
Smoke did it, and then like he has such a unique voice. And
Yeah.
then Lola Brooke is the only two people I'll ever want to hear New York drill from.
That's fair.
That's it. I
It's
don't
just-
think
it's just
Lola
funny,
Brooke get
man.
enough credit, and y'all need to start
think-
putting a spotlight on my girl because she hard.
I don't think I've ever listened to her music. I have to check it out.
She's only like 4'11".
I mean,
That's probably why
and to
people
be
don't take her
fair,
serious. I don't know.
You know, I can't really say too much because I had a let's just call it a phase, chat. And DC knows what I'm talking about in college.
No,
where,
because
you
that's
know,
when it was Chicago. Like that's when
Yeah.
Chicago was reigning supreme, and like
Me-
everybody, it was new. It was something new.
me and the homie Tori, man, for sure had a phase. Shout out to my
It was
boy, man.
something new, but I'll say it with my chest. I kind of sidetracked away from the point of
Nah, you're
these
fine.
overreactions, bro.
That's just
It's
that's the
like,
world we live in now, man. That's the way things are, unfortunately. It's
bro,
like
I've watched some
what's it called?
Kendrick Lamar reactions, like
Sensationalism.
y'all flying out of your seats and throwing chairs and doing all this other goofy shit. Hey, man, sit your stupid ass down, bro,
It's just
and
like
enjoy the music.
that parasocial. I mean, but like I said, like it's sad though because if you're a content creator and you don't perform, do these performative things, I feel like nowadays people won't find your content as entertaining.
So wait, to harken back on what we was talking about off stream, just sitting in front of a TV and playing COD ain't cutting it. So
No,
wow, it's crazy how that goes in a circle,
I think
right?
people are over the trick shotting era. It's I don't want to say it's easy to drop 50 kills in games like COD now, but it's so common that it's not even fucking notable. It's not noteworthy anymore, in my opinion.
Well, now the
That's
thing
just my
is
opinion.
dropping like 200 kills on Nuketown, just spawn camping. That
Then
seems to be the new
then
thing.
you're
But
abusing the system. You're not truly just flying around the map, killing everyone that can fight back. That's what's impressive to me. Like, and that's probably why I still watch esports and stuff because I even though I stopped playing COD over the years, like I still kept up with the competitive scene because you are actually seeing like the best players in the world, in my opinion, play against each other, and I'll always be a fan of that. That's why I don't really like college football, but that's a whole other conversation for another day. But
yeah, man, it's just a performative. Like
yeah,
some people, it just look bad.
yeah,
I get that you gotta, like we was talking earlier. I get that there has to be some kind of aura of excitement around your stream. You just
yeah,
can't be
some sort
sitting
of
there playing
entertainment
games.
value, right?
But like, man, y'all just like it's just some stuff you just that I saw personally
Hmm. I
that I
agree.
was
I
just
mean,
like,
I agree with you.
okay, all
There
right,
are
dog. And
certainly
then it's by like you're well established too. Some people were like kind of, they kind of got a good following. So I'm just like, some of the just it just
well.
looks
Let me
weird.
ask you a
It's
question then. That's a good talking point. Do you think that well established content creators will, I don't want to say do more performative things, or they're willing to do those types of things versus someone who is new and trying and not being afraid to try things that go against the grain? Because I feel like the more established people, when it comes to reaction content, just solely reaction content, is you get that more performative stuff. Whereas just my own personal viewing experience, where I've watched smaller YouTube channels, because I do listen to a lot of like reactions, or I watch a lot of reactions on YouTube. That's what I consume the
Mhm.
most outside of like random Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. But I feel like the up and coming people, the people who still have that passion for discovery, are the ones who are more entertaining than the performative ones. That's just that. I wonder, how do you feel about that? Like, as somebody who,
Well, with me, it's all about natural ability, and I'm making a word, if
yeah,
that ain't a word. Like, if it's genuine, if it comes across genuine,
yeah,
I'm here for it. Like, some people will have a genuine reaction to whatever it is that they're doing,
right.
and I'm fine with that. But it's just like, I really wish I could show you an example of some of the stuff that I just
Oh, I
saw.
know.
I
I
was
know
just like,
exactly what you're talking about. I've seen it. I know exactly
I
what you're
was like,
talking
you're
about.
fake screaming. You're not excited.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. I mean, no, let's not get it twisted. They might really be excited, but it's just over the top performative. It's just like, it's just weird to me. Like,
I get it.
you, and then I'm like, all right, we all listening to the same Kendrick album, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. But since I'm shooting shots at people, let me go down my list right quick before we get started
Yeah,
here. I got
Winnie.
one
Yeah,
more.
loud
I
does
got.
equal funny to, I think, the younger generation, and I think that's the problem. Well, not. Let me not say it's a problem. I think it's just us being phased out of this version of the internet. You look back at, because I saw somebody talking about like old Twitch a couple of days ago on Blue Sky, and how they wish it would go back to those days. It's not. Like, that's over. Like, what's popular now, that's why Kai does so well. That's why Senna, Agent, a lot of those phase content creators, they are, the majority on Twitch is because, they that's what the audience wants to see, and that's just kind of where it is, unfortunately. It's no turning back. It's interesting. I find it more interesting just watching that this stuff like develop, especially with the whole conversation about ads and stuff that we haven't talked about yet. And I've been wanting to have that conversation about ads on Twitch and the ad apocalypse that's coming. So, but yeah,
And just one more thing I got to get off my chest before we get this thing started. Give me 2 minutes of your time. Now, I think we're in a weird space with games. And what I mean by that is I'm seeing a lot of really, really bad content be pushed out for the sake of being first.
mm,
I'll just say that.
yeah,
People are not really digesting the games and stuff that they talk about, and it's creating really bad YouTube videos. I'll just say that. I think they're really half baked, and then because when you go back to them, that same video in about 2, 3 weeks, it's only 2, 3 weeks, and the video has aged poorly
perspective, yeah,
because
changes a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, because you wanted to be the first. Sometimes, I honestly, I believe sometimes that people don't even finish these games, but they want to push out these little think pieces about the game, and like, dog, you only played like two. The game been out for a day. You already got a video up. You're not a developer. No one sent you. Now,
Well,
this is not talking
some
about the people who get copies or
yeah,
early
I was gonna say
access.
some people do like that aren't traditional media get review copies, like some YouTubers for sure.
But it's a group of YouTubers because I like to watch. What I do is I like to watch like the medium rare or the not so big, haven't quite made it yet
Hmm.
kind of group of. That's what I do with everything from Twitch to YouTube stuff. I don't want to see the well established people. I know them already.
Right.
I'm trying to look for someone like newer people, up and coming people who, you know what I'm saying, may make a mark in the industry sooner or later. And these are the people I'm referring to. I'm not referring to the people who get the early access and, because they get the games early because people want them to make YouTube videos about it early. So, yeah, I've noticed a lot of that. I want to say the past couple of months. Hey guys, cut it out. Um, let it bake. Let it bake. It'll make for better material. I know you want to be the first because you want to just get those clicks, but you got to have a balance between clicks and just quality content, man. I believe that's just my opinion. You can tell me to go to hell, kick rocks, whatever. All right, I got it off my chest. Let's get this show
No, I mean
started.
it's fine, man, because it's a tough thing to balance being creative while also trying to appeal to a mass audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the way that traditional games media has been essentially disappearing over the last decade, it's you kind of run into many echo chambers with YouTubers communities or streamers, content creators communities, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the fix is. I just this kind of reminds me of when paper news died out. Yeah, you can still go to your local gas station or maybe even a grocery store and buy like the paper for today. But who's really doing that now? People prefer their news in a different format, I guess you could say. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like I said, I don't know that. I think it's just a situation where we're the quote unquote old guys on the internet now, and it's just
And I'm
really,
fine with that.
it's just not, unfortunately, it's not for us anymore. Because I see the internet, from my eyes, and then I see it through the kids' eyes, and I see just how different it is. I see a lot of people talk about like brain rot content, and a lot of that stuff I just don't understand myself. Like I'm not gonna call it that because I'm pretty sure that's how our parents probably felt about some of the stuff we were watching growing up on the internet in the early 2000s. Like it's just I don't know. It's just weird. Like I don't think things are gonna change, and just like we were talking about, like it's really hard to break into being a content creator now unless you have a very unique spin outside of gaming. Like if you're just doing gaming content, like you might as well pack that shit up unless you find like a new platform to grow on. That's what people are doing with Blue Sky. Like a lot of people moved over to Blue Sky from Twitter because it is an opportunity to grow, right? If the platform sticks. So then you're like balancing, oh man, is this worth me putting the effort in to grow on? You know,
I would like to have a Blue Sky, but they never send me my confirmation.
we're gonna fix that shit today.
They never send me my fucking confirmation email.
Yeah.
Every time I click confirmation, it never comes through because Yahoo email is trash.
Yeah, that's weird. But I mean, you know, people are looking for the next TikTok right now and everything. Like it's
and yo fan base, this is your time to attack. Y'all over there slipping, but that's another conversation.
Yeah. So. But anyway, guys, welcome to episode 213 of the Super Weapon Podcast. If you were listening from the beginning, I know you guys are probably very confused because we are typically a gaming podcast. But hey,
yeah, this was just a random,
Sometimes when you have those emotions and you're passionate about talking about it, man, that's what we do.
And I love music,
and
I love you, Kendrick. But I could do without hearing your name.
We're gonna give DC a platform to talk about his music on, man, because he does have some very important things to share. And I think your perspective on a lot of things as somebody who's actually passionate about music and not just hip hop is something that's worth hearing, in my opinion. You know, not as the kids say, glazing, but you know.
Glazing. Oh, hey, let me tell you something. Oh my God, we are so off on a tangent, but I gotta get this one off.
Hey, it's fine.
When I'm talking to my niece, and when you're talking to people like younger than
you
just realize how old you are.
Yeah.
Your daughter was texting me yesterday, and I was like, the way that she texts pisses me.
Yeah, that's how they talk. Yeah, that's how the younger generation talks, man.
I was sitting there looking at my phone like, what? But I knew because like I'm tapped in with the younger people in my family, so I get the lingo but it just makes you feel old. I'm like, damn, this what
I will tell you one thing I hate that I see online more than anything now is how people spell ass. Instead of saying ass, they spell A-H-H like ah. I hate that shit. I hate it.
Oh, I thought you was finna say arse.
No.
That always makes me laugh.
No, it's just like when they instead of just saying ass, they say, you know, it's just weird. Like it's just say
I haven't
ass.
seen that yet, but
just look into some comment sections, man. So
I just enjoy getting old and just seeing the changes. I'm like, bruh, I be looking at my texts from all my nieces and nephews like, what the hell am I? What is this?
Yeah, like one of Shayla's favorite word is do they say tweaking? The younger people in your family?
Oh man,
I was tweaking, bro. My bad. You know, yeah.
Oh, that word got banned in classrooms, by the way. That's how much they're saying it, bro. Don't y'all know tweaking is for bass heads?
They taking stuff and they turning it, man. Same shit we did, right?
Oh my God, man. I wonder, it changes often. Like 2 years from now, they going to be, like, glazing's going to be up out of here. Like, it's just certain words. Remember Fleek? Remember that?
Oh my God.
Gone, right?
I mean, honestly, you got to think, like, Gen Alpha's coming up, too. Like, you know,
bruh,
Kendrick is close to 10, you know, like he's, you know, CJ's little brother. He's getting older, too. He's old enough he has a personality and consciousness now, so just imagine what their generation is going to be saying in, you know, 5 to 10 years.
2 steps away from damn robots, bro.
Yeah.
So we ain't talking about that little funky ass robot Elon lied about had people in the background.
I mean, hey man, at least you didn't get called OG this week, man. That one hurt me. Hurt my heart pretty bad.
Oh, you see this gray beard, bro? That is my middle name. Like every time I walk through certain parts of my job, what up, OG?
You're like, whoa, hey. Like
I accept it all, bro. I love growing old. That just means I'm closer and closer to retirement.
I mean, it's a blessing, of course, man. It's always. Yeah, what's up on Dark Star? Hey, man, welcome to episode 213, man. That's
we just talking about random shit.
This is honestly, man. You know, it's getting closer to the end of the year, man, and
we can't stay focused.
You know, it's holidays are coming up. You know, it's been a long couple of weeks, personally, but yeah, let's talk about some video games. I mean, we're about 30 minutes in. We haven't talked about anything gaming related.
Hey, let's get to it. We're out of control.
Hope you guys are doing good today, man. Happy Sunday.
We got a good one.
Yeah, man. We actually got pretty good topics to talk about today, man. If you guys are listening to this podcast, we did not record on Saturday. You know, because I wanted to really get into playing Stalker 2, which is the main game we're going to be talking about today. Excuse me. So this game finally came out, man, after, you know, much adversity, trials, and tribulations that GSG, the studio, went through to release it. For our audio listeners, I do have like my stream pulled up from yesterday of me playing the game, so this is like gameplay you're watching of me actually playing yesterday.
Ooh.
Um, and I will have to
Okay.
say, man, so I'm about, I don't know how far you're in. I'm only about 3 hours ish in, which I don't think means much of anything with how big the game's map is, and just the initial initial thoughts on the game. I'm having fun with it. I think it's a pretty fun game. You did hit the nail on the head when we were texting the other day. This does feel like a open world Metro game with some Tarkov like elements as far as the inventory management goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm enjoying the time that I've spent. We're gonna dig into like different things. There are some things I don't like that I'm gonna that we'll talk about. But I really want to hear like your initial impressions. First question: Are you playing? You're playing this on Series X, right? You're not playing this on PC, correct?
Yes, I
Okay.
am on the X.
So I'm playing on PC. So yeah, we can talk about differences with that as well. But how are you enjoying it, man? How do you have like an estimate of how I guess how much game time you have in the game yet?
I'm probably around the samesies. I spent a good majority of my time exploring, which was wild.
Yeah.
That's what I love about like kind of like open world games because you can kind of just jump in there and you can go as far as you can go without getting killed. I experienced a lot of death because of my exploring, but I came across a lot of cool things just being out in the world, experiencing the environment. I've always been a big fan of kind of like the nuclear apocalyptic style
Mm.
environments and stuff. But yeah, so I've probably roughly got about 3 hours of exploring before I start like the main, I guess you want to call it the quest.
Yeah.
I got stuck on the first invisible monster because he keeps chasing me. I
Oh
don't know what to do.
God.
I got raggedy weapons, so I might go exploring again to kind of try to find some decent weapons to use on this monster. Now,
Yeah.
my experience as a whole with the game, this is my first time playing any kind of Stalker. I know this is two. Then I think they had like some side ones or something like
There
that.
were three. Chat told me yesterday there were three games before this one. So
Yeah, I never played any of those, but it do make me want to like. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm probably never gonna play them, but I will look them up on YouTube because I am curious
yeah.
to see what they were about. But I think this game dropped at a very important time. It's definitely needed. It's like one of those things, like a palate cleanse, because
Mm.
I've been stuck in Nuketown since Call of Duty came out. I've literally been playing Nuketown 24/7
Yeah.
every day of my life. So this is definitely needed. Get the FPS out of my system. Get to a single player game that has meaty content, a great. Well, I don't want to say storyline, but I get the gist of the story. And once I watched the documentary, it really made everything make sense.
Yeah.
And that documentary was, whew,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
yeah.
We can definitely talk about that. So you guys know I'm a big fan of gaming docs, just documentaries in general, but GSG released a documentary. It's a little over a month ago, called War Game, which is basically like the making of the game itself and just like everything that the studio went through. So if you guys aren't really familiar with this game at all, this was a Ukraine-based studio. And obviously, there's that whole situation with Russia and Ukraine right now, and you got a really like I would call it a very raw and real look at what the members of the studio went through to persevere to try to make this game, because originally this game was scheduled to come out in 2022, and then obviously
Hmm.
that's when it's crazy to think it's been 2 years since Russia began their campaign over there. But it really hit home to see. I was talking to Lisa about this the other day. I was like, man, I know we have our own issues like life stuff going on, but you don't realize sometimes how good you really fucking got it. You when you see what others across the world are going through, And, you know, just like you said when we were talking before, you know, it was very intense. Like, they didn't pull any punches. You know, obviously they didn't show any graphic content, stuff like that. But you definitely got a real, like, ground level look at how that war and everything was affecting everyone. And, you know, to the point where the studio had to relocate from Kiev, their hometown, to Budapest, which is where I believe they are now. But I mean, I just, you know, really want to give them like a hats off for even having the will, drive, and the passion to see this game through to the end. And you know, obviously they've already come out and, you know, released a bunch of hot fixes for some of the issues people were having, and they're, you know, they're going to continue to update the game and add content and stuff. But you know, I do encourage you guys to check it out if you're interested in those kind of things. The documentary is about an hour and a half. It's pretty extensive. Yeah. So you get a really good look at like the behind the scenes.
It flies by though.
It does.
It's good. It's so good. Like that hour really just flies by.
Yeah, it does, man. And you know, I like even if this game was borderline unplayable, like I would be a little bit. I don't want to say I'll be okay with it completely, but you know, I'll be more understanding because
considering the circumstances.
Yeah,
right?
Like these people were literally fleeing for their lives, and you know, rest in peace.
Hardcore. They wanted to stay. Like some people were just like,
some of them,
still working on the game. Like
some of them stayed behind and even fought in some of the battles and stuff. And you know, unfortunately, some of the developers did lose their lives due to the conflict. I mean, it's just like, you know, if you were in that position, that's the thing I kept thinking. It's like, man, I don't know what the fuck I would do in that position. Excuse my language. If somebody pulled up to the the eastern side of the country and just started marching into Georgia, you know, like that's some scary stuff, man. Like you just never know what life.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and that's what a lot of people did. Like you flee.
Yeah.
Like all jokes aside, you get in your car, you go far west as you can go. If they're invading east, you're gonna go west. Like, and I feel that sentiment too. And I think a lot of people like watching this, you do get compassionate, and you do, if you have a damn pulse of a heart, if you have a piece of a heart in you, it did move me to see this, and I don't care about getting into the rights and wrongs of the shit. Like people are just dying. At the end of the day, people are dying. A lot of people who don't even have anything to do with this shit is dying. So that's where my compassion comes in. Yeah, and when I'm seeing this and I'm like, you had people stay back. They were trying to finish the game. Like, think about it. A video game, something like that, because they spent years on this shit. And they was just like, I'm not willing to give this up. We're going to finish this. And it was just a very powerful documentary. I think everyone should watch it. I think if you don't have nothing to do, if you call yourself a gamer, get in there and watch it. Even if you're not a gamer, like watch the doc. I sent it to my father for him to check it out. And yeah, man, I love game docs. Like I said a billion times before, I want to see more of these. I want to see more. It kind of give you that compassion because you don't go so hard on developers and stuff. Because once you see like what they're doing,
right,
you're like, oh, that shit is hard. Like,
I think it really lets you understand, and in my opinion, it refines your view of the game. Like I said, the job. I truly do believe the job of the consumer is not to, I don't want to say be compassionate about their critique, but you know, it helps. It gives me context to say the things that I say, you know, when I do. And, you know, because gaming, I mean, we talk about all the time how hard it is to make good games. I mean, I think there's something like 1,000+ games that get launched on Steam every month, probably even more than that. And you got to think how hard it is to like stand out, you know, in that sea of games that, you know, you never quite, you know, some games are really great. They'll never get the audience they deserve or they should. And, you know, this studio, you know, I think, you know, because from what I understand, like you, I've never played any of the Stalker games. You know, it seems like this was a very beloved franchise, and this was, you know, a lot of people were really waiting on this. I mean, so much so that I believe this game sold like 1 million copies in 2 or 3 days or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people were just like super passionate about this game. And, you know, we can kind of talk about like some of the different elements of it. The first thing I will say, like, the story itself is you're a what's called a stalker. I'm guessing that's just like a survivor in the zone, which was inspired by the
Which is a real thing that I
yes,
did not know.
uh-huh. It was
This is a
inspired by the Chernobyl exclusion zone, which a lot of them went to visit. Like, in the documentary, they talk about that. Like, some of them go and see some of the stuff. Like, yeah, some parts of Chernobyl are still incredibly dangerous. But if you're careful and you kind of pay attention to certain things, you'll find your way around it. And it made for great inspiration, I guess, to the series as a whole, not just this game. But I'm kind of meh on the story, honestly. Like, you're looking for a guy who betrays you. You this is like the first intro mission. You'll find this out within 30 to 40 minutes of playing the game. Some guy betrays you for doing something, and that's as far as I got. Like, we're looking for the guy. So I don't really like, I did a couple of side missions. A lot of them are pretty standard. Hey, you help me out, I'll give you this thing. I'll pay you to, you have your pretty standard quest. Hey, this guy owes me money over here. Let me go talk to him. And you do have the freedom to choose, I guess, the outcome of the missions. And it's really cool. They'll give you like optional parts of the quest to do, which could give you, more rewards, or like I said, it'll just change the entire outcome, which I do like. Because it's been a while since I really sunk my teeth into like an open world game. And I will say, like, I do feel like the game itself is really gorgeous. Like, I think, because just like DC said, he's playing on Series X, I'm playing on PC. I think I have everything turned up except the resolution. Like, I'm playing on 1440p, everything's on Epic, and I'm hitting about 60 frames consistently in the open world, which is pretty good. And but yeah, like, the story is, it's not why I'm playing it. I'm not really compelled, you know what I mean, to do the story. I'm more interested in the side stuff. But how are you kind of feeling about the story? Like, I know you told me you just went and just started exploring. Did you do any side missions, or are you just kind of walking around and getting into trouble?
well, the gist of, and this is what I say, like, I always want to I always want to paraphrase it with, we're just starting.
Uh-huh.
This is more or less like a, you know what I'm saying, first impressions type thing. I
Yeah.
always want to throw that out there because I don't want to judge a game completely when you only played like 3 hours of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
with that being said, yeah, I did a lot of exploring, and the things that I did see so far, and these opinions can change as we finish the game. But right now, I'm pretty much enjoying it. Like I said, I'm really into this space of where I'm looking for balance. So right now, this is really scratching the itch of exploration and stuff like that. The game looks good on the Series X. The environments look great. As far as the story, I did, because in the beginning, when you first get that intermission, when you go in that little bunker,
Yeah.
you kind of get a little bit of the gist of the main storyline. But I think so far it may. I think the story's going to grow into something. I think your mind's going to change as you play the game. I think, because I think there's more
Yeah.
to the story than what
Yeah.
they're leading on right now. But honestly, even if the game story, let's just say if we play all the way through and the game story wasn't really all that, I kind of think the story really is just the zone, the environment you're in, which is called the zone.
I agree.
I think that's the story. The things that you find just by exploring and learning about the whole environment or Chernobyl, and you know what I'm saying? I think that's bigger than the story to me, if that makes sense. Like, when you
I
guys start
agree with
playing
that.
it, you'll understand what I'm saying. It may, like, there's a story, there's so many stories to be told. Like, you're kind of looking like, damn, what happened here? Or how did this get like this? Or why is this faction doing this? Like, there's a lot of things in there that's going to have you questioning stuff. And I'm not sure if you ever find the answers, or as you explore more, or as the story progress, will these questions be answered. But yeah, even if the story was kind of like lackluster, I still feel like I'm going to enjoy this game. But I think there's more to the story, man. Right now, the story's just a little loose. It just seems a little straightforward, but I think we're gonna get some twists and turns in there. I believe
That's what
so.
I'm thinking too. You know, it's. I think I agree with you. I think the more interesting parts of the game are the open world itself, and
Hmm.
there are some pretty interesting characters you meet early on in the game. Like, I'm not super interested in the main character we're playing at the moment because I don't really know anything about him. It's very
Yeah.
you can just tell from once again, this is just like the first initial mission. Like, you can tell that he is desperate for either a fresh start or he's just looking for a place to survive. And I don't know if, like, something happened to him in his past that led him to the zone, because I get the impression that the zone itself is not covering the entirety of Europe. It's just like a certain section. Because, and this is like from conversations talking to characters out in the open world, where there was one guy talking about his parents and how they died outside of the zone. So I don't know if it's just like a thing where you come in here to either get away from trouble from your past, or, you're looking to make some money, or however it works, but I mean, I think the world itself is very, very interesting. I do agree with you 100% on that. Now, like, when it comes to like gameplay, I do like the I like certain parts of the gameplay. Like, I like the gunfights and stuff feel really good. I think it's the
Everything feels desperate.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the word. You feel the tension of trying to survive in the game, from just like, not even just like gunfights, but eating food and drinking water and stuff that I kind of wish some of those survival features were fleshed out a little more, because I mean, you only really eat for the sake of taking less damage. I believe, like, if you're hungry, you can
Hmm.
possibly take more damage instead of like eating to survive more. Like, I just feel like it's, I don't want to say a chore, but I don't ever feel the stress of not having food, because there was a one point in the game I was walking around for like 30 minutes and I didn't have anything to eat, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna die from hunger, so I'll just I'll just keep going until I find something. And but I mean, as
I
far,
think that changes. You're playing on the hardest level, right?
yes, I am. I'm playing on hardest
Okay, I
difficulty.
thought that might would change due to levels, but guess not.
That's what
Okay.
I was thinking too, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And the inventory management is pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's very Tarkov like, where you have guns, you can unload guns from your inventory. There's a weapon durability system, so if your guns have enough wear on them, they'll eventually start jamming on you, which happened to me in a gunfight. Which was
Hmm.
in it, it caused me. I think I died because of it, but I didn't feel like, I wasn't mad about it. Like, I found the gun on a bandit or something, so the gun was already pretty beat up. But it's hard to make money in this game. I don't know about on the easier deal, because you're playing medium, right?
No, it like one thing I would say about this game, man, is definitely not for well, I don't want to say that, but casual gamers like myself, like you have to lock in. I'll say that. Like
Yes.
you really have to lock in. Like you're not going to be running and gunning. Um, there's some few things I noticed off bat is that there's a difference between the AI scaling depending on what you're fighting. I mean,
Mm.
you can kind of notice it. Like if you start once you start fighting different kind of creatures, you will notice the AI aspects of the game. There's like a lot of the mutants are pretty straightforward, kind of just overly aggressive. But then when you come across the factions and stuff like that, you will notice that they tend to flank. They're a little smarter,
Man,
and
they
it's
love
pretty
throwing
annoying.
grenades.
Yes,
Oh my
the use
god.
of grenades is a little overbearing. They may want to tone that down a little
They
bit,
don't miss
but
at all when they throw them
and this is
things.
the thing, right? There's no indicators in this game. Like you don't know where you're getting shot from. There's been plenty of times where I've been in fights and just got my head blown off. Like I'm like, what the hell happened? Like there's no Call of Duty indicators. There's no throw the grenade back indicator. Like so you really have to pay attention to your surroundings. Also, My thing is this: I try to avoid gunfights like this at night. At nighttime, I go stealth mode,
Yeah.
and during the day, I'm a little more aggressive. I don't mind fighting during the day. So because, like I said, you have to be, you know, aware of the flanks, or and you can see it too. Like if you pay attention to the enemies, like they'll try to set little things up, and it's easier to catch them during the day. Like fighting at night is just so
Yeah.
chaotic.
Cause you'll get just like a small white indicator of where enemies are approaching you from, and that's it. Like after that, you're pretty much on your own. Like you have to pay attention to where they are. I will agree. Like fighting at night is very very tough because I mean even if the enemies have like flashlights on their guns, like you peek from behind cover, you're liable to get lit up, and
Oh,
headshots do
turn your
matter.
flashlight off.
Yeah.
The darkness is your friend. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
Learn how to maneuver in the dark without your flashlight. Because soon as you turn that shit on, you are going to attract people from a 3 mile radius with that damn flashlight. It is a thing. It people because I thought it was like a joke, and I read it somewhere. They was like, I've been playing these games for years, blah blah blah. And so the dude was giving tips, and he was like, turn off your flashlight. And when I turned off my flashlight, I noticed that I was getting attacked a lot less.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, holy shit. Now it's dark as hell, but your eyes kind of adjust. You look at the moonlight, and there's little things that kind of guide you. Like if it gets too dark, yeah, turn on your light, but you might not want to just be walking around like nilly willy with your little light on. And little stuff like that just makes me love the game, because I'm like, I mean, it's realistic. Like if you just see a little light off in the distance,
Right.
you're prone to go, hey, what's that over there? Because I did it with enemies. Like I'll see a little light or a fire.
Yeah.
I go over there and I'm like, what the oh, and then now next thing you know, I'm getting lit up. And that's the thing about this game too. You're never ever gonna be overpowered from what I've played so far. Like I have a whole bunch of
Unless
raggedy
you come across a
guns.
lot of money, yeah, I agree with that.
I have a whole bunch of raggedy ass guns. I got this AK that constantly jams. I got a little pea shooter. Like I just got some little bullshit, and like you know, inventory management has never been a thing that I've been excited about, but I get that aspect of the game. Like I get it. You in this wasteland, you're not just going to be running around with infinite weapons, and
Right.
so yeah, I hate the inventory, but that's not a strike against the game. I know where the game was taking the culture. Like I'm not going to get a game a strike just because something I personally hate dealing with, but you start shifting shit around in that little bag, man. Like you start
Yeah.
turning that AK to the side. You're like, I gotta stuff something in here.
And I will give them this. Like I don't ever feel like because when you play games with like a weight inventory, like weighted inventory system, like
Oh, cumbered.
you can
You're
feel
encumbered.
over encumbered. I don't ever feel like there was at one point where I had like 3 or 4 guns in my bag and I was still in the green, with a bunch of other stuff too. So I like that.
If you could get it in there, if you could shift it around, like it seems
Yeah.
like you can carry quite a bit.
Yeah, so you don't. I never felt like I had to constantly throw stuff away. Only time I did
Hmm.
that was when I ran out of space, not
Sell it,
because I was
sell it all.
yeah. Well, there was one guy I ran across who didn't like broken guns, so he never bought them from me. So I had to unfortunately just completely get rid of them. And man, repairing is so expensive in this game. My gosh.
And it's by design
Yeah.
because everything was meant for you to struggle. I want people to like realize that when they go into this game, because that curve, that difficulty curve is there. They
Hmm.
do not want you. It seems like from what I've played so far, still putting emphasis on that, it seems like they don't want you to become overpowered. Like they don't want you to have like all this ammo and just running around, and like the whole premise of the game to me is like survival. You're surviving in this
Yeah.
this this wasteland, and that's what I was saying about the story. Like even if the story is not really there, that survival aspect of just trying to survive these harsh conditions is enough to kind of make up for that story a little bit, especially if it's done right. And so far, I feel like they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I agree. Because the game, man, the game is perilous. Like you can die at any moment. You know, with the whole
Dude.
the anomalies and stuff. I don't feel like those parts of the game are cheap because if you pay attention,
Hmm.
like you'll hear that beeping sound, so you'll start to be like, okay, I need to make sure.
Get your
I need to
ass in the
stop
house.
walking for a second and look around because I've been killed by tornadoes. I've been killed by um,
Thunderstorms.
thunderstorms, those bubbles that just kind of sit in the middle of nowhere. Like if you're really not careful, you can really just and I have to say in terms of like enemies in this game, just like DC said, like humans and stuff are very you kind of they're a lot more tactical, whereas the monsters will just like rush you. Minus this invisible whatever the fuck this thing is called. Hey, fuck this monster 4 ways to Sunday, man. Like if you guys are watching the stream right
Ooh.
now, like I'm literally standing in a corner because I don't know where he is, and it got to the point I was literally just throwing grenades at the ground because like he kept hitting me and I didn't know where he was. Like, and it,
Yeah, for our audio listeners, this is why you need to come join us live because this is hilarious.
yeah, like this
He's
guy
just
was
literally
terrible.
running, shooting. You're wasting material.
Yeah, at this point, I was literally screaming. At this point, while I was running into this cave, like, because I thought he was gonna follow me into the. But I
Bruh.
mean, it's fun. Like I don't.
That was pure fear right there. If you ain't noticed, that was freaking fear,
Yeah,
dog.
I had no idea where he was, and
And
I was
there's a
running out of
lot.
ammo. So.
There's a lot of these moments in the game to where you have that fear. Like
Yes.
there's a little bit of not knowing what the hell is going on. Dude, I was literally walking down this road. I walked across a bridge and I died. And I died. I was
Yes.
literally attacked by some creature that was under the bridge. And it's like
Yep.
I love the level because the thing is it will start you at your last save point.
Yeah.
So that kind of difficulty is you don't have to worry about that. Like, you die, you lose all your shit and blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
not like
And you
one of
can
those.
quick save pretty much at any point too. So
Yeah, you could save anywhere. So, I try not to be that person who be clicking quick save every 5 seconds, but because I feel like that kind of takes away from the immersion of the game.
save
and the
scumming
experience.
as they call it. Yeah. Yeah.
Save scumming.
That's what they
Yeah.
call it. So
I try to do like landmark by landmark, like wherever I'm going. Like,
yeah, I feel that.
yeah, to try to challenge myself and then make it fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you're saving every 5 seconds, that's not fun. You think you're taking yourself out of the game when you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like save, oh shoot, save, oh kill this, save, oh like that's not fun.
You're taking yourself out of the immersion, and I will say, man,
Mhm.
stay out of the water because you will irradiate yourself to literal death.
And there's creatures in the water. I'll just say that.
and there's shit in the water, so don't
Let
think
me
you can
tell you,
swim
I
across a
was took-
river or.
Yeah, I was took on a ride. I'll just say that. I was took on a very long trip that I did not want to go on. Okay. That ended up in me
man.
dying. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So it's not ideal, but there is something I do want to like ask you about that I had an issue with in the game that it got to the point that it was just comedy to me, and that's the voice acting. I'm playing with the English subtitles, and I'm not a fan of the voice acting in this game.
I remember was it Ukrainian actors?
No, some of them I believe are American. Well, let me say this: I couldn't tell. That was my biggest thing, and I think it's not necessarily their accents. I think it's just the believability of them, like making me think this person really lives in this world. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah. I feel that.
I feel
understand.
it feels very like monotone at certain points, and I'm glad the character you play doesn't talk a lot because the game wants you to care about him, and I haven't gotten there yet. Like I just he's just so he's just so blah, and that's one of my biggest things. Like we were just kind of laughing yesterday. I was talking to some NPC in this building I'm in now. And I just couldn't stop laughing at his voice because it was so bad, and that's something that'll take me out of a game quick, man. Like voice acting when it's moments where you're supposed to, how the game's trying to make you feel certain emotions or pay attention to certain story beats. Like I'll just completely just stop listening and just
See, I can't comment on that yet because we're obviously on two different parts of the game.
yeah.
I haven't ran into any NPCs yet, so I'm still just kind of out and about.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of side questing, and that's probably why. But
Yeah.
so, one of our viewers recommended me to play it in the original language with subtitles, and I was like, man, that's just kind of a lot, like, because there's a lot of conversations in this game,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to get to the point where I'm just not paying attention to something because I didn't read a subtitle while trying to read chat. So if you're not streaming and you want to play in
Yeah, I think
the
I'm gonna do that.
in the original voice it was intended, that was what was recommended to me. But like the English voice acting is just not it for me, man. Like I just it's just comical to me. I don't know. It's just not so
And
super
you
great for me.
know, and you prove a very good point with that. And it's just like, man, I'm just really trying not to ban Beezy right now. You
Swimming in
know,
Dasani. Hey man, you don't want to do
I
that. Skin might fall off.
I swear to God, man, I just want to yell at Beezy sometimes. Come join us live, and you'll get to meet the great YouTube sensation, Beezy. Man, this guy's doing big things over here.
Swimming in
Always
fucking
dropping gems
Dasani.
in the YouTube world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall, my experience with this game so far, the couple of days I've played it, got me out of Nuketown, and I'm really, really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm probably going to play a little bit today. Depends on what the schedule looks like. I don't really have anything too pressing to do today. But overall, man, another Game Pass banger. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is on Game Pass for those of you who are
Another.
curious about it. Yep, sure is. And I
You know what I'm
mean, I'm
saying?
gonna probably end up playing more. Like I felt like I played enough of it yesterday that I want to see how the game kind of progresses as far as like story, as far as like just if the gameplay kind of evolves, like if you get more more advanced weaponry or things like that. Like I've been watching very little of it on stream, like other people streaming, because I didn't want, not necessarily the story spoilers. I just didn't want any like gameplay quests spoilers or anything like that. But I would, if you guys do play this, I would encourage you to explore like the game after you finish the first mission, which is what was just being showed on chat here or on stream. You literally are free to walk in any direction. Like the game does not tell you can't go a certain place, but
Mm-hmm.
it is. I would recommend you go to the first city because you literally have
Yeah, because
nothing.
you probably want to like
Yeah,
get your armor and stuff like that.
yeah. Talk to
You
vendors and
probably want
everything.
to,
Yeah,
yeah, you probably want to build that up. Don't be an idiot like me. Like when I just see openness, I just tend to frolic
I tried.
around
I
in the.
tried until I realized I didn't have food or meds. So that's what made me go to the first settlement.
Oh, I was a little scavenger. I was
Yeah.
stabbing people in the neck, taking med kits. I was doing all kinds of little creepy stuff. I was
Uh,
out in them streets, bro. Out
yeah.
in them.
Yeah, this is the
In
guy here.
them.
His voice is terrible. Richter. Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, man. His
Yeah,
vo-
it's probably meant to be played the way that your friend suggested it, but I get it because when you're streaming, like, there's a lot going on. So,
yeah.
um,
I don't. I
you
don't. I
definitely.
mean, I've watched like TV shows and stuff in other languages, of course, but I don't. It's just too much trying to stream and pay attention to subtitles and respond to chat. And I was like, it's fine. We can just laugh at the voices as we play through
Oh,
the
I could
story.
time out Beezy. Hey, I'm in like monitor mode. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
I got power. Let me send him a warning.
oh my god.
I'm gonna send Beezy a warning. Yeah.
Stupid.
No, I wouldn't do that to Beezy. That's the homie.
But yeah,
Um,
that's Stalker, man. I mean,
that's first impressions of Stalker, guys. I hope you guys check it out.
oh my
Pick it up,
god, we're
give
going
it a
to an
try.
ad break. Jesus Christ, have we been live that long? Hold on.
Yes, because remember we went on tangents.
Oh, we did. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
sorry if you guys are getting ads right now. I am so sorry about that. We'd have usually wrapped it up by now, I guess. But yeah, we'll jump back into Stalker probably in a couple weeks, I think. maybe before the end of the year, we'll do a little wrap up pod on it or something. Because I do, like I said, I do want to finish the game. I do want to continue to play it and finish it. I mean, I know
Hmm.
Indiana Jones comes out in a couple of weeks, but
Oh, he looked dry. Look at him.
yeah, and I think it's the facial expressions too that just
I mean,
like
if you had a
this is the kind of stuff that I enjoy in games though. Like if it's gonna be like these little janky moments, as long as it doesn't
Mhm.
stop me from progressing the game or it's constantly crashing, because I did see a lot of chatter about that online like day one. But I mean, they released a hot fix when they fixed like 1,200 bugs before the game launched. So I don't know if that was a symptom of people playing review copies of the game without that stuff being fixed. And the last thing we can talk about too is the enemy spawns. They sometimes they will just spawn in the middle of nowhere, and I don't.
Yeah, that was one of my gripes as well.
Yes, I hate that. I hate it so much. It definitely takes you out of the game. I got killed yesterday a couple of times because of it. Like enemies just spawning behind fences, and while you're trying to heal or loot or something, and you get shot in the back
I
of your
could.
head.
A lot of people have been complaining about that. I see a patch coming soon. Like I think
Yeah,
they're gonna fix that
I think so.
immediately because it's one of the biggest. Honestly, from my experience with the game, it's one of the biggest problems right now to me.
Right.
Because I've had it happen to me, and it takes you for a loop because this game is all about preparation, and you can't prepare for something popping out of thin air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what the hell? Like this big piggly humanoid beast thing just popped up in front of me, and I'm like, I got a little ass handgun, and he's a bullet sponge. I'm like, now if I would have saw him from the distance, I would have walked totally around this asshole. But yeah, just
Enemy
need them to
popping is
fix
a
that.
thing.
That was
So
my like really my only bad experience I can say so far with the game.
yeah, I didn't really run into too many. There were certain like frame rate dips when I walked into certain settlements, but it evened out after a few seconds. It wasn't anything, you know, it wasn't anything that ruined the experience for me totally. I'm enjoying the game. It's fun. I'm gonna continue to play it. Like I said, we'll probably touch back on this maybe before the end of the year and kind of see where we're at. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna beat the game for the end of the year. I'm not gonna lie to myself, but I do want to explore more of the world that Star because the map is huge. Like there was one point I did pull it up on stream, but the map itself is like gigantic, and it seems like each different part of the map has something different going on. So maybe we'll run into more factions, different kinds of enemies and stuff. It's fun though, man. Like I highly recommend this. If you guys want to check it out, it is on Game Pass, like DC said, and also it's on. I don't believe it's on PlayStation. I think this is just an Xbox exclusive for the time being, as well as PC. So, yeah, man, fun out of 10 for me. I don't know about my boy DC, but yeah, we'll definitely touch back on this.
No, man, no, it's up there. It's definitely up there, man. I'm looking forward to playing it a little bit more because I got that. I
Oh,
got
here it is.
Octopath Traveler.
Oh
I
gosh,
got a
man,
few games to break the FPS. You know,
we gotta talk about Octopath again, man. I've been playing it a little bit here and there. Like I haven't played it on
hard
stream
to
mostly,
keep up with
but
all this greatness, man. It's
it
hard
is.
to keep up with all these good games, but I just love having a mixture of games to play. I
Yeah.
mean, GTA RP, then I got this, then you got Call of Duty, you got Octopath Traveler. I've been playing Metal Slug Tactics.
How is that? I've seen people
It's
talk about it.
it's more difficult than what you think.
Oh, I like that. I love Metal Slug, man. Such a
Yeah,
great
it gives you the
franchise.
Final Fantasy Tactics feel,
Yeah,
but just in Metal Slug's world, and it starts off like you kind of feel like, okay, this is a way watered down version of Tactics, but
yeah,
when you get further into it, um, it reminds me of like a chess game, and I love to play chess. Like it really, once you get more teammates on the battlefield, and as the battlefield get bigger, and there's different kind of enemies that you're dealing with, you being a tactician that you are, I'm sure you would enjoy this game.
I
Like
love
it,
tactics games, man. Oh
yeah,
man, that's my
it
jam.
makes you think like you really, really, really have to.
Is it on Switch?
Um,
I need a reason to turn my Switch on. Like if it's on Switch, I
it
can.
probably,
Let me look it up.
it
Actually,
probably. Oh yeah, that definitely be a good toilet game.
I need a. And this is why I really hope Xbox comes out with a handheld in sometime in the nearest
Ooh,
future. I really do want to get
segue.
like a mobile like because
Mobile toilet
I
jam.
don't always want to sit at my computer and play games, and I don't want to buy a Series X. I just don't.
It's just fun sitting on your couch with your legs up, just kind of,
Yeah,
like
you
you're
know what I
reading a book.
mean.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Tactics.
yeah,
Let's see.
yeah. Metal Gear Slug Tactics it's up
Oh,
there. So
it is on the Switch. So yeah, we might actually because I remember playing Metal Slug all the time in the arcade when I was a kid. Man, this was the game I played the most out of anything in the arcade. 100%. I've always
yeah,
loved
and
Metal
then
Slug.
like the battlefield, like it's just that kind of like chessboard kind of feel, and
Yeah,
yeah, man, you really it's a thinker. It's definitely a thinker, and I'm really starting to be more drawn to those type of games instead of just endless shooting. Like
yeah.
you kind of put your brain to the test. Like
This looks really
yeah,
good.
so between all those games, I got about 5 games are just rotating around, and I'm in happy town. When it comes to games, man, I don't care what nobody say. Hey, if you
Yeah,
complaining about it not being no games to play, then get off 2K and Call of Duty, bro. There's
that's
a
pretty nuts.
plethora.
I think
There's
this
a
year was
plethora of
great for
games.
gaming, man. Like, and I kind of want to talk about fucking Game Awards when we get a little bit closer because I know there was some controversy about.
Mm.
I will say this as we are running over pretty far, but I don't think DLC should be in Game of Year category if it didn't come out.
Ooh.
If the main game, if the base game did not come out the year that the DLC released, that's just my opinion.
Ooh.
I know some people feel differently about that, but I
Mm.
think if we start to make exceptions for just certain franchises or certain games made by certain studios, then you should make that exception for everyone and not just that, franchise. Because
Hey
yes,
man, just be real. Get off the Elden Ring tit, man.
I
Come
mean
on.
Elden Ring's a great game. It is.
It is,
It is one
but
of the best games I've ever played in my life. But that being said, honestly I think DLC needs its own category.
it
In
should.
general,
It
that's just
really
my
should.
opinion. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, chat. Let us know actually how you feel about the Game Awards announcements. As we get closer to that, which is December 12th, we always love to talk about that. There's going to be some surprises, I'm sure. I'm just really excited for February. Monster Hunter is going to be literally my entire life next year. So, I don't really care what comes
Yeah,
out
so
after
get all
Monster
the
Hunter.
other games out of your system
Yeah.
because Monster
I'm
Hunter is
literally going to
coming
be
for
playing nothing
you.
but Monster Hunter next year,
Yeah,
probably.
BZ, we better see the Monster Hunter clips too, BZ.
So, yeah. Man, if you guys came into the middle of the podcast, you guys missed a banger of an intro. I highly suggest you go back and listen to that, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're gonna record this week because it is Thanksgiving. I mean, we could talk about it, see if there. But I don't know if
I'm
there's.
always, I always want to be a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't. We'll see, man. I know we usually take certain holidays off,
The
but
ball is in your court, bruh. If you want to do it, I'm with it. If you don't, then we'll
yeah,
just hold off.
we'll play it by ear, guys. But if we don't,
We'll let you know on the Twitters.
yes, if you don't hear from us, or if you don't see us next Saturday, man, I hope everyone in here has a happy Thanksgiving, happy Friendsgiving, however you choose to celebrate it. Spend some time with your family. And if you're making that macaroni and cheese, man, taste it before you take it with you.
Hey, and don't be the one who bring the bean casserole to the party.
Yeah, keep
Don't
keep
be that
the
guy.
keep the experimental stuff for your house.
And if you can't cook, just say you can't cook.
It's okay
You
just to
could
bring
bring other
paper
things,
plates.
bro.
It's okay to bring
Paper
juice.
plates. You could bring juice. You could bring the entertainment.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things you could do, man. You could bring the karaoke machine.
yeah.
You got options.
And if
right?
you got beef with certain family members, handle it before Thanksgiving, man. Don't wait till everybody get
Or just go,
together.
hey, look, go out back, and, square up. But then after you square up, clean slate, man. Let it go.
Yes, don't bring it to
Take your
next
L,
year.
take your W, whatever,
because we
Come to the
know
Blacksgiving, yeah, it's
we
gonna
know
happen.
we know
Just
how
saying.
I was gonna say you know how our people do, unfortunately, man.
Yeah,
So
Blacksgiving, somebody scrapping out, or they're playing spades, and then somebody get mad, and yeah, it happens.
somebody uncle drinks too much, and oh
Oh, good
god.
old drunk uncle. R.I.P. Unc. Salute, salute,
Jesus, man. Thank you guys for
salute
hanging
to
out,
my
man.
uncles. R.I.P. Baby.
We
We out
appreciate you
this
guys,
thing.
man. As we get closer to the end of the year, man, almost another year in the books, man. We love you guys around here. Thank you guys. I don't have nothing, man. I don't got much of anything. Just take care of yourselves, take care of each other, man. Love your family while they're still here, man. Guys, find me everywhere. Derek's the
Word.
artist. Don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky. I made one of those. I've been using it. It's pretty nice over there right now. It's pretty chill. So, other
I'm
than
gonna make
that,
mine today.
DC, it's all you, baby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just wrapped up another explosive episode of Super Weapon Podcast. We would like to thank all of our chat for chiming in and giving us good laughs with the Dasani toxic water. That guy Beezy over there doing big things.
Yep.
And we would just like to say, whatever you celebrate, Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, hey, have a blast. Please, please, please enjoy your loved ones. Shake their hands, give them a hug, even though they piss you off. DDT them off of a table, for God's sakes. But just show them that you love them. And have a good Sunday, and we'll possibly see you next week. Peace.
Yes. Peace.